that title, and by the title, yes, I'm going to be telling a story time about how she flew me out and she had a girlfriend. And on top of that, we're going to get to it. But before we get into the video, if you're not subscribed yet, why are you not subscribed? Like, you like my story times, I like my story times. Why are you not subscribed? Especially because we're about to hit 150 subscribers. I'm going to need y'all to subscribe, okay? Thank you. But, hey y'all, I miss y'all. I'm back. I always be telling y'all how I miss y'all, but I really be missing y'all. And I'm sorry that I be, like, going 2 weeks missing. But, like, I'm going to get on my Zoom, okay? I promise. Like, I'm going to get on my grind. I'm going to get on my Zoom. Y'all don't have to worry about me missing no more. Let's get into the story time. So this story time is a little recent, so I'm not gonna put the date on it, but like if you catch on to what I'm putting down, then you catch on to what I'm putting down. But basically, I was talking to this girl. I'm gonna give her a code name. I'm gonna name her Ray because she kind of looked like Ray So Wavy, and that's why I was talking to her in the first place. But yeah, so me and Ray was talking, and you know, she had followed me on Instagram, and she had DM me, and she was like, oh, like, you know, you look cute, like, what's going on, what's popping. So I'm like, hey, you know, I can't remember what I said, but I'm gonna put the screenshot here if I find it. But yeah, we started texting. So we ended up texting on iMessage, and I was like, you know, where do you live? Because I seen that we only had one mutual, and the mutual lived in Virginia. So I'm like, girl, where you live? Because I need to know. She tells me that she lives in Chicago. I'm like, okay, that's far. Like, I don't live in Chicago. That's far. I'm sorry, y'all. I got my heating pad. Bad. But yeah, she told me she lives in Chicago. So I'm like, oh, that's far. So in my head, I'm already like, okay, like it's a no. But she's like, you know, I've been wanting to come to the DMV for a minute. Like, it's nothing but a flight to see you, this, that, and the third. So I'm like, oh, okay, come see me then. Like, come catch a flight and come see me. Like, it's nothing for real. A little backstory. I'm getting to know her. I'm like, you know, when was your last relationship and things like that. She's like, oh, y'all keep this in mind. She's like, my last relationship was in January, and we broke up because she was toxic. She beat on me. She killed my lizard. She cooked my lizard. She baked my lizard. She ate. So, no, but she was just telling me how she was so, like, attached to this pet lizard that she had, and her ex-girlfriend had threw it on the wall, and it died. So, the reason why I joked about her girlfriend eating and cooking and baking her lizard and putting it in the fryer was because it's not funny, but it's just like, girl, just say your sick ass cooked and ate your lizard yourself. Like, that girl did not do nothing to your lizard. But we're gonna get more into that. It's gonna make more sense in the story time. So basically telling me this stop story about how she was in a toxic relationship and she basically had to run away from it. She had to get out of it by any means necessary. So, you know, me being the nice and sweet and caring person I am, I'm like, oh, like, baby, like, it's okay because I'm here. Like, you got me now, so we gonna be locked in forever. You know, that's what I'm thinking. That's when I'm like, oh my god, like, I feel so bad for this girl. Ray, she was a scammer. So she ends up telling me, like, yeah, she ended up cheating on me, so I swiped her cards. You did what? That should have been red flag number one. Like, that should have just made me instantly cut her off. But I'm like, okay, the girl cheated on you with a nigga, so you swiped her cards. Like, I get it. Like, I wouldn't have did the same thing, but I understand it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, like, damn, like, that's crazy. You ain't have to swipe the girl's cards and the like, that was a little overboard. But she like, nah, because she was doing the most, so I had to swipe her cards, da-da-da. So she's telling me how she got a Dodge, she got her own apartment, she gets money, all the good stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay, like, and on top of that, you look good, like, you're gonna be my girl, like, I'm gonna make you my girl. So I'm like, okay. So like I said, we started chit-chatting up or whatever, and we end up sharing locations. Y'all keep this in mind as well. Like, everything I'm saying, I want y'all to keep it in mind. Like, remember it. Remember the tea that I'm giving y'all. So she gives me her location, and she ends up going to one of her friend's house, like, 1 o'clock in the morning. She getting cute, she getting all dressed up. I'm looking at her, I'm like, girl, where are you going? Like, where the fuck do you think you're going? So she's like, I'm about to go to my friend's house, but I'm gonna keep you on the phone. I'm just not gonna tell them I'm on the phone. So I'm like, okay, that's cool with me because they finna be telling the tea and they not gonna know I'm on the phone, so they could say anything out of pocket, and you know what I'm saying? So she had me in her pocket. It's like 4 girls in there. They all chopping it up, talking, gossiping. You know how you are when you're with your homegirls and stuff like that. So one of the friends ends up asking if Ray has talked to her ex. And I'm going to give the ex a code name too. I'm going to just name her Diamond. So she's like, yeah. She's asking Ray. She's like, have you talked to Diamond recently? This, that, and the third. Because her and Diamond Ray's friends and Diamond's were mutuals. Like, they was friends. So she's like, yeah, have you talked to Diamond? So Ray's like, no, she's crazy. I'm about to get a restraining order on this girl because she done broke into my house and she done busted up my windows, like did a whole bunch of crazy shit. So they like, damn, like what the fuck, you know, this and the third. It's like, yeah, but I'm talking to this new girl. At the time, I had orange nails, so that's what they called me. They called me Orange Nails because they didn't know my name and she didn't want them to know my name. So one of the girls was like, yeah, how's you on orange nails? And she's like, we're good, this and the third. So she would post me, but she would blur my face out. Like, she would just post like my body and my nails and she would blur my face. So it was like, well, let's see what she looked like. So she ends up showing them a picture of me and they're like, oh my gosh, she looks so cute. Like, you know, she nice and chocolate. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh. I already knew I was nice and cute and chocolate, but the fact that y'all see me like, thank you. You know, y'all some fake ass bitches, but we're gonna get into it. So I'm just on the phone smiling. I'm looking at my phone this time. I'm like, so when I have people's locations, I mark their locations so that I know where they're at, and like if they ever try to lie and be like, oh, I'm at my granny's house, but I have it marked as your auntie's house, I know that you're lying. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all do that, but I do that. So I have marked her location as best friend's house. That apartment that she was in was best friend's house. She was always at the best friend's house. Like 3 times out of the week, she was always there. So I'm like, okay. But I didn't pay no mind. She at her best friend's house. I be at my best friend's house a lot too. We be hanging out. So I didn't like, girl, go be with your best friend. I don't care. You know, time goes on and she's like, I want to see you. I want you to come out here. I'm gonna fly you out. Oh, fly me out then. Like, fly me out. Like, fly me out then. Like, I'm not gonna say no to no flight. Especially because I've never been to Chicago before. I'm not gonna say no to no flight. So I'm like, okay. Book my flight. She books my flight. Okay, cool. So this is where stuff gets crazy. This is where stuff gets completely insane. I come out there and, you know, I'm scared because I'm like, what if this girl kidnaps me? Like, what if I just don't come back home? But in my other hand, I'm also like, okay, you only live once. Like, she didn't book me a flight. She being sweet. But everything just seemed too good to be true. And I kept telling my best friend this. I kept telling her, like, it's too good to be true. Like, something wrong with her. Something is wrong with her. Like I said, I ended up going out there, and we're cool. Like, we're vibing. She was pretty. She looked nice. She was taller than me. Everything was going good. This is where things started to get a little weird. So she's in college, but at the time she wasn't in college. Nobody was in college when this took place. When she was in school, she did track and she was in a sorority. I think that's what it's called when they be doing them little dances in the back. Shit. She was one of them. So, you know, they drink a lot. They always drinking. Like, college kids, college students, they always drinking. So she had a high alcohol tolerance. I'm a drinker, but I'm still kind of a lightweight. So her alcohol tolerance was way higher than mine. So, you know, the first night we ended up getting food, but I was tired because I had to wake up really early to get on my flight and everything. I was like, you know, we could just chill today and go out tomorrow. So she's like, all right, like, that's cool. Like, you know, we can eat and we could drink and we could, you know, chill or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. So it's like maybe 10 o'clock at night and it's time for us to drink. So I'm telling her, like, I want you to drink first because it's not going to take me long to get drunk because I'm a lightweight. Like, 8 shots and I'm good, but it might take you 15, 20. So I'm like, I want you to drink first and then I'm going to drink. So she's like, okay, y'all, this girl tricked me. She tricked me. Because she's like, oh, you know, like, I'm kind of a lightweight too. Like, it really doesn't take me long to get drunk. So she drinks. The cup was like this. It had this much alcohol in it. She chugged it down. I watched her chug it down. She starts acting drunk. So I'm like, okay, this girl's drunk, so let me go ahead and catch up. So now I'm drunk. But y'all, she's giving me shots and giving me shots and giving me shots and passing me the bottle. And I'm just like, yo, but I'm thinking we're on the same page. So at this point, I'm damn near about to be blackout drunk. I'm not blackout drunk. Like, I still know what's going on, but I'm drunk. So we're laying down watching a movie or whatever. So I remember the night very vividly. Like, I remember the night vividly. So she's like, are you drunk? Like, are you really, really drunk? I'm like, yeah, I am. So she's like, oh, okay, are you drunk? She goes, no. No. I thought we was drinking together. What do you mean no? But again, I'm drunk, so I'm not really, I'm in la la land. I'm like, oh girl, like, drink again. Like, why you not drunk for real? Like, that's how I'm talking. But she's like, no, I'm not drunk. Like, you're just drunk. So I'm like, why are you not drunk? This, that, and the third. And she like, I tricked you. Like, I just want you to get really drunk. This, that, and the third. So again, I'm drunk. I'm really not processing what she's saying until the next morning. So I'm just like, why would you try to get me drunk by myself? Da, 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 da. I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? So we end up doing the do. She got me drunk to do the do. I hope y'all get what I'm putting down. Like, I'm not trying to make it seem like but you didn't have to get me really drunk to do that. Like, if you wanted to do that, you just had to say that. But I did tell her, like, I'm not the type of person that be doing that on the first night. Now, each his own. Some people be doing that on the first night. That's cool. Like, I don't, like, that's y'all. But me, personally, I'm just not that type of person. And she knew that. So in her head, it's like, okay, I think she really cute. Let me get her really drunk so that we can do the do and she'll be comfortable with doing the do. And that's basically what happened. We go to sleep or whatever. And the next morning, you know, I wake up with a headache, and I'm just like, so, like, I remember what went down, but not everything. So, you know, I wake up or whatever. She's like, you know, are you good? This, that, and third. I'm like, yeah. Why'd you get me really drunk? She's like, I just, you know, I wanted to have fun with you, this, that, and the third, and I feel like you wasn't really loosening up, and you was shy, so I was trying to loosen you up. I'm like, I guess, like, that's not normal, but okay. So, you know, that happened. I kind of got over it. I was just like, all right, bitch, like, whatever. So we wake up Friday morning and we're like, okay, like, let's go to the mall. Let's go, like, do some fun shit. So we end up getting cute. We end up matching. We had went to the mall. We went to go get food. We went to the aquarium. Like, we was having a good day. Like, we was vibing. We was chilling. So, of course, I can't have a good day. I can't have a good date, a good day, a good trip. Somebody always got to ruin my shit for me. So we're in the car or whatever, driving back home. It's probably like, what time was it when she texted me? It was, because I'm going to tell you at the time, and I'm going to put the receipts up here too. 10:13 at night when she texted me. When I say she, I mean Diamond. Who's Diamond? The ex that she left in January. Cool. So she texted me. She said, so you with Ray? My heart dropped, y'all. My heart dropped. I'm like, there's no fucking way. There's no. My heart drops, and I'm just like, what do I do? Because if I smack this girl in her face while she's driving, I'm miles away from home. And she booked my flight, so she could cancel my flight. She could do anything to my flight, and I'm trying to go back home. So I'm really trying to think. I'm not trying to think irrational. So I'm like, what do I do? 15 minutes go by, and I text my best friend. I'm like, Chasmine? She goes, yeah, she texted me too. Who texted you? I'm like, what? She's like, Diamond texted me too. She hit me in the DMs. Girl, are you insane? Are you fucking crazy? What? Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm getting mad because I'm like, girl, so because I wasn't replying fast enough, you took it upon yourself to find my best friend's Instagram and DM her about a bitch? There's no way this is happening right now. Like, I'm in complete shock. So she's like, you know, Jasmine's like, do you want me to DM her back? Like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, yeah, DM her back, because if I DM her back, it's going to be a problem just off the simple fact of how she came at me. Now, you could come to me, don't come to me as a woman, because I really don't have time for it. But if you're going to come to me as a woman, not on them type of terms. You know what I'm saying? So, especially because the girl is lying to me, and I don't know what's going on. So, her and Chasmine get to texting, and she's telling Chasmine all the details. She's like, we're still together. That's my girlfriend. She just left my house. We've been fucking. This, that, and the third.
Oh, I have a friend, or whatever. We end up taking a break around my birthday, April 28th, to be exact. We end up taking a break because I end up getting injured and everything. And she was just like, oh, babe, over the time, I just got a friend. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, what's your friend name? She kept saying her name is Monique. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, so if we was to exchange phones right now, what would be the consequences? She was like, well, I did call my friend Pre, but it's nothing like that. I'm like, okay. So then come today, she like, is my friend Janaya. I'm literally with my friend Janaya. So I looked it up. I'm like, okay, I just want to know if this your friend or you been harassing me. We've been dating all the way since October. So
Like, she's just telling Chasmine all the tea back to back to back to back to back. I'm like, there's no way. Like, there's no way. I finally speak up, and I'm like, Ray. She's like, what? What's wrong? I said, I know Diamond did just text me. She says in the calmest way, I told you that bitch was crazy. Girl, first of all, how did she find my Instagram? That's one. How did she find my Instagram? Like, what do you have going on? So I'm like, how did she find my Instagram and why is she texting me? She's like, I don't know, like I told you she was crazy, don't want me to move on, this, that, and the third. I'm like, I'm not buying it. You still fucking with this girl. You're still entertaining her, because ain't no way somebody gonna be this delusional to the point where you found my Instagram and asked me if I was with Ray, as if, like, no. My phone is on like 10% and her car charger wasn't working. So I'm trying to charge my phone, but my phone is dying because I'm texting Jasmine, and Jasmine's telling me that the girl was telling her that they're still dating and Ray is basically cheating on her with me. So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm telling her, I'm like, Diamond is texting my best friend telling her that y'all still dating and y'all still fucking around. She's like, what? That girl was a liar. Like, I don't talk to her. I don't mess with her. I haven't talked to her since January. This, that, and the third. So I'm just like, who's lying here? Like, who the fuck is lying? So my phone ends up dying. We were on the way to Ray's best friend's house. The girls that she was on the phone with, like, a couple weeks beforehand, and they was saying how I was pretty and stuff. They wanted to meet me in person, so we were going to their house, and she also had to drop off some Cookie Crumble Monster Ink to them. So yeah, so we already had to go out there, but at this point, I'm like, take me straight to your house. I don't want to meet nobody. I don't want to be around nobody. Like, you're a liar, you're a hoe. I'm not fucking with it. So she's getting mad. She's like, bruh, she's lying. Don't believe her. This, that, and the third. Like, we just had a good day. We just had a good time. Da, da, da. I'm like, girl, I don't care about none of that. Like, you're a liar. So she's like, bro, you really want to go home? Like, you really want to go home? Like, we were just gonna have a game night. We was gonna do, girl, fuck you in that game night. I don't give a fuck about no fucking Uno after a girl just texts me talking about some you cheating. You think I want to play and flip some cards? Are you kidding me? No. We end up going to her house, and we're in the parking lot, and my phone ends up turning on for some reason. Like, it turned back on. It was on 5%. So I instantly call my best friend, and I'm getting mad. So she's like, what is going on? This, that, that. She's like, give the phone to Ray. Give the phone to Ray. So one thing about me, I'm listening to my best friend when she ready to cuss somebody out. I gently handed Ray the phone, like, my best friend wants to talk to you. So Jasmine's like, what did you do to my best friend? Like, why is she crying? Why is Diamond texting her? Like, what the fuck is going on? You brought my friend and paid for her flights just for her to find out that you got a girl. Like, what was your purpose? So she's like, I would never want to hurt Monique. Like, I don't know what's going on. That girl was a liar and a manipulator. I haven't talked to her. This, that, and the third. Jasmine didn't give a fuck about anything that girl was saying. Jasmine said, give Monique the phone back. Like, girl, shut the fuck up. So she ends up giving me the phone back, and I'm just irritated. She's like, Monique, charge your phone and call me when you charge your phone. So I'm like, okay. My phone ends up dying right after I hung up the phone to her. So I'm like, can we go in the house? When I tell y'all, Ray is looking around the area scared as fuck for Diamond. Like, she's looking, like, she's like, I'm looking at her, I'm ducking with her. I'm like, girl, what the fuck is we look like? What are you doing? Stop. So I'm like, are you really that scared? Like, you really think she's gonna come up here? And at this point, I'm in defense mode. Like, I'm squaring up with whoever. The first bitch I see, I'm squaring up with. I'm not wasting no time. I'm not talking because I don't know y'all. I'm far away from home. I don't have time for y'all to try to hurt me, so I'm gonna hit you first. Like, I didn't care. Whoever came up to me was getting two-piece elbowed, pop, lock, and drop. Like, I was about to do anything. Like, I didn't care. Like, I just don't think you should be home by yourself because Diamond is crazy and she has broken into my house before. This, that, and the third. Like, I just think you should go with me to drop off this cookie crumble kush, and then we can go back to the crib. I'm like, fine. Do what you gotta do, and take me the fuck home. So we end up going to her best friend's house. Mind you, like I said, my phone is dead, so I can't contact nobody, and I'm far away from home. Like, I live in the DMV, and I'm in Chicago. That's like a 3 hours, like, flight. That's like a 12-hour drive, I think. Like, no. So I'm in the car, and I'm just in my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? What's going on? What is Diamond telling Jasmine? Like, what do I need to know? Like, I'm confused. So I see 3 black girls come up to the car. Mind you, it's dark and I can't see them, and they have on dark clothes. Immediately in fighting mode. I had one hand on the door handle to open it, and I had my fist balled up because as soon as I opened that door, you was gonna get 2-piece. I didn't give a fuck who it was. It could have been the mama. I don't care. So I open the door, and I'm like, what's up? She's like, oh no, like, hey girl, like, you're really pretty. Like, I'm so and so. I'm Ray's friend. I was about to say her name. I'm Ray's friend, and you know, like, we just wanted to meet you. Don't listen to Diamond. She's crazy because she told me that my boyfriend had got her pregnant, and I know my boyfriend didn't get her pregnant. What? Huh? Like, why are you friends with somebody who's lying about your nigga getting them pregnant? Like, it's just too much going on. Like, everybody lying at this point. Everybody's fucking lying. So she's like, girl, you're so pretty. Like, don't let Diamond ruin your trip here. Like, you and Ray just had a good time, and Ray don't want you to leave. She really likes you. This, that, and the third. So, Carl, she's like, I told you, Diamond is crazy. Like, they can even tell you. Of course, they're gonna vouch for you. They're your best friends. Like, I'm ready to go home. I don't care about nothing you bitches is saying. Like, I really don't care. So I'm like, okay, like, yeah, like, I'll stay longer, knowing damn well I wasn't going to stay longer, even though that's ended up what was happening, but we're going to get into that. We ended up driving off, and we ended up getting home, and getting out of the car, and we ended up walking to her apartment, and she's like, bro, like, I just want you to know, like, if she ever comes to my house, like, I'm going to fuck her up. Like, I'll kill that girl because you're my girl, this, that, and the third. I'm like, girl, shut up. Like, I don't care about anything you're saying. This is where stuff takes a complete turn. When I say complete turn, I just need y'all to buckle up for this part because this is completely insane. I turned my phone back on. I turned my handy dandy device back on, y'all. Why do I have 10 messages from Jasmine? She's asking me, am I okay? She's sending me proof of stuff. She's like, girl, that girl has chlamydia. You need to go home now. Who has what? Y'all. She's like, that girl got chlamydia. Diamond is telling me that she gave her chlamydia, this, that, and the third. Monique, get home and get home now. Like, get your flight tonight and come home. I dropped my phone and instantly started crying. Like, I'm going insane. Like, my mind just went to, I'm gonna kill this girl. Like, I'm gonna go in her kitchen and stab her with her own knife. Like, that's how my head was going. Like, I'm in murder mode. Like, I'm thinking, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna kill this girl in her sleep. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? So I'm texting Jasmine. I'm like, bro, like, show me the proof. She's showing me the proof. She's showing me the receipts. Diamond showing the proof. Diamond showing the receipts. I'm like, there's no way. Ray ends up, she's like, why are you crying? Like, babe was, shut the fuck up, bitch. Don't, girl, don't play with me. Ooh. She's like, what's wrong? Why are you crying? I'm like, you dirty ass bitch. You got chlamydia. Da, da, da. Like, why the fuck did you bring me over here knowing that you fucking with this dirty bitch? Da, da. Like, I'm going off. So she's like, bro, she's calm. She's like, bro, like, I can show you my test results. Like, I don't have chlamydia. She ends up showing me her test results, but they're from January. We're far away from January. We're not in January. So I'm like, girl, that old ass shit, like, I wasn't fucking with you then. Like, I don't care about January, this, that, and the third. She's like, bro, like, I got tested again. Like, I don't have chlamydia, this, that, and the third. I'm like, yo, I said, take me home. I said, go on your phone and change my flight. I only been there for 48 hours. I got there Thursday. This all happened Friday, like the next day. I'm like, yo, and I didn't plan to leave until Tuesday. I'm like, change my flight now. Change it now. I want to go home. If I stay here any longer, it's going to be a murder scene. They're going to have tape around your fucking apartment, bitch. Take me home. She starts texting Diamond, and I'm texting Jasmine. So she on one side of the bed, and I'm on the other side of the bed, and we just typing it up. So Chaz was telling me, bro, Ray's texting Diamond right now, mad because she's telling me the business. So I'm like, I turn around, I'm like, there's no way you're texting Diamond. Like, you don't know that she's on, like, they were on the phone. Diamond was sending receipts to Jasmine, but Diamond and Jasmine were on the phone. Like, she was telling her this on FaceTime. So I'm like, you're over here texting Diamond as if she's not on the phone with my best friend right now. Like, how dumb can you be? Like, it's not gonna get back to me instantly. So she's like, bro, like, I'm not even texting her, but she's being weird. Like, why is she lying? This, that, and the third. Y'all, my head is going into shambles. I'm like, what the, how did this take a turn? Like, we just went and got some seafood. We just went to the aquarium. We just went to the mall and bought some shit. And now I'm coming home, and you got chlamydia, and you got a girlfriend, and y'all live together? Child, this gotta be some Tubi movie shit. I'm looking up on Google. I'm like, how do you get chlamydia? Like, how can you transfer it, this, that, and the third? Because in the lesbian world, she used a strap. So I'm just like, did you use the same strap on me and her? Did you switch out the strap? Like, what is going on here? I'm just like, I don't want it. I'm not that type of girl. If you know me, you know I don't play by my health. I always go to the doctor and get checkups. Like, I'm pissed. I'm more pissed about my health than the situation itself. Like, don't play with me like that because I'll kill you. Like, for real, like, I'll kill a bitch about my health. I don't play like that at all. Well, I'm on Google and I'm just like pissed off. So she ends up turning off the lights. And when I say she turned off all the lights in the house, you would have thought nobody was home. She turns off all the lights, gets in the bed, and goes to sleep. Bitch, I should have beat your ass while you fuck. You think it's time to sleep? You think you should get some sleep, bitch? Like, you know you dead wrong. We're facing back to back. I get a stench across my nose and it smells like pure shit. I'm like, my eyes! It smells like she fucking farted. Bitch, you lying so bad and it got your stomach hurting that bad that you decide to fart? Y'all, she had a headboard and her headboard had a dresser, so all I had to do was reach behind me. Let me tell you exactly what I did. I grabbed the Febreze, I aimed it at her, and I let that bitch out. Just like this. Right on her. I let that bitch out. Because I know damn well you didn't just fart. What is wrong with you? Like, there's, like, girl, what is going on? Like, what is wrong with you? We finally go to sleep, and now it's Saturday morning. It's like 7 o'clock where I am, and it was 8 o'clock where the DMV people were. So I get up, and I go in the bathroom, and I FaceTime Jasmine. So I'm like, girl, tell me exactly what happened on the FaceTime call. Like, tell me everything that went down and stuff like that. Because while me and Ray were arguing, Diamond and Jasmine were still on the phone. She was like, do you want me to hang up on her and call you, or do you want me to still get the details and I'll tell you the details when I'm done getting the tea? I'm like, yeah, do that. So I ended up calling her the next morning. We're on FaceTime, and she's telling me everything from top to bottom. Like, their whole history, everything they had going on. They was on, like, a break for, like, a week, but she was still talking to her while she was talking to me. They were seeing each other. Y'all remember when I marked her location as best friend? But I was at Diamond's apartment. Diamond lived there too. So the whole time that I'm in the DMV and I'm thinking she's at her best friend's house, she's really at Diamond's house. You sneaky bitch. Ray was telling me that she didn't have sex with Diamond since January. Why did Diamond show Jasmine on the phone their sex tape from like 4 days ago prior to me getting there? A whole sex tape. When I say Ray was getting her back blown out, she was getting her doonies beat down. Wow. This is sick. Jasmine's like, you know, I just need you to go home. Like, did she change your flight? Like, did she book your flight back home? Like, what's going on? I'm like, no, like, I'm gonna talk to her when she gets up and we're finna book it today. But as I'm looking at the flights, there's nothing for Saturday. I don't see anything. Nothing's available until Monday. And it's Saturday. So I'm just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? She's like, bro, like, Jasmine's just as mad as me. She's like, there has to be a way. Like, there has to be a way. I'm like, I'm trying to see if there's a way, but I don't see if there's a way. Ray ends up waking up and opening the bathroom door and peeking through the bathroom door, and she just stares at me while I'm on the phone. So I'm looking at her, she's looking at me, and I'm looking back at her, and she's like, are you okay? I said, I'm on the phone. She goes, and then closes the door. Jasmine goes, that was so fucking awkward. Yeah, it was. Get out. Like, get out. What do you want? Like, leave me be. Like, I was, bro, like, get away from me. Get away. After Ray goes back in her room and lays down, I'm telling Jasmine, I'm like, I think I'm gonna boil some hot water and throw it on her. Or I might just stab her in her neck. Like, I might just tie the blanket around and smother her. Like, I'm really on some crazy shit. And if, you know, anybody happens to come across this video, like, I was never gonna do anything like that. Like, ever. Like, I'm not a murderer. Like, I would never do anything. No. the phone with Jasmine, and I'm just going through it. I'm like, bro, like, if I go back in that room, I really feel like I'm going to put my hands on her. Like, I cannot do this right now. I cannot do this. So I end up hanging up on Jasmine. I end up going back in the room, and I'm like, Ray, get up. Sleep time over, nap time over, bitch, get up. I'm like, you told me that you didn't have sex with this girl since January. She's like, yeah, because I didn't. I showed my phone of her getting her units beat down. Now we all looking dumb. Because you still want to lie as if my best friend wasn't on the phone with Diamond for 4 hours, sending proof and receipts and messages. So I sent it to her. She's like, that's old. It has the date on it, stink. How's it old? She know how to do Photoshop? How's it old? Like, let me know. She's like, okay, like, I'm sorry, like, I didn't mean for this to happen, this, that, and third. I'm just like, why me? Why did I have to be the guy? Like, you came into my DMs, you flew me out, you started talking to me first, you wanted to fuck with me first. Like, why couldn't you just leave me alone and continue to be with Diamond? Like, why'd you bring me into some bullshit that has nothing to do with me? Like, for what? And she couldn't give me an answer. So she ends up leaving out and going into the living room. I'm on the phone with Jasmine. I'm just like, bro. She's like, did y'all talk about the flight? You know, is she going to take you home? And I'm like, bro, there's no flights. There's literally no flights until Monday. I'm basically stuck here. I'm just like, bro, because the way the airline was set up, I had to get on 2 planes because she lived like an hour away from Chicago. So it was like a small veterans airplane, and then it was the actual airport. So that plane couldn't get me to the actual airport until Monday. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense to y'all. So I'm like, bro, I'm literally stuck here. Unless somebody drive down here and get me, I'm stuck here. I'm hungry, I haven't ate. Like, at this point, I haven't eaten in 2 days. I'm crying and throwing up. I'm ready to go home. So she's like, tell that girl to buy you food. Like, she all bragging about all how much money she got. Tell her to buy you food. So I'm like, you right. Y'all, I'm on the phone with Jasmine. I go in the living room. Why is Ray laid out on the couch listening to Janae Aiko with Taylor Port? It's 9 o'clock in the morning. If anybody should be sobbing around this bitch, it's me. If anybody should be drinking Taylor Port and listening to fucking Janae Aiko and Giveon and Brent Fayez, it's me. Like, what are you doing? I flipped the camera and I'm showing Jasmine. I'm like, this girl is really sick. Like, there's no way. So she starts laughing. She's like, bro, like, this girl is so pitiful. Like, what are you doing? Like, girl, get up. I ended up hanging up the phone on Jasmine or whatever. Like I said, she was laid out on the couch. So I grabbed her legs and I snatched them off the couch. And she looked at me like she wanted to fight. And I was ready for it. I want her to get up and try to, like, fight me so I could just knock her right back down on that fucking couch. Like, I wanted her to fight me. So I snatched her legs off the couch and I sit down. I'm like, I'm hungry. So cut the music off, put the teleport down, drive me to give me some food. Like, I don't care about your attitude. She sits up and busts out crying. When I say she busts out crying, you would have thought her mother died. Like, her whole entire face was wet. Snot was dripping down her mouth. She was boo-hoo crying. I'm sitting on the couch like, did I miss something? Like, why are you crying? Like, I said I was hungry and you start crying. Like, do you not have money for the food? Like, I'm confused. So she's like, I'm just so sorry, Monique. Like, I never meant to do this to you. Like, that girl be beating me up and she be slapping me around and she be manipulating me and she be cheating on me and she be eating my lizard and she be baking my lizard and she be cooking my lizard. She just telling me a whole bunch of nothing. Like, girl, I don't care about the fuck-ass lizard. I don't. At all. She starts flipping through her phone, looking at the lizard like that was her escape and it's dead now because the girl done slapped it across the wall like a piece of noodle when you try to see if it's cooked and ready. I'm like, girl, I'd probably cook and eat the lizard too and bake it and fry it, like, and make it into a goddamn cake. I'd do it too. It's like, you just don't understand how hard it is to be in a domestic violence relationship. Like, I be trying to get away from her, but she done broke into my house and she done did this, that, and a third to me, and I've been trying to get away and I was actually healing, and then you came into my life and you was treating me so well, so like I was trying to get away from her, but then she just came back and said, like, just give me a whole sob story. And I'm just like, girl, you could have easily left me alone though. You could have left me alone. So she's like, I just really want you to know, like, I really don't have chlamydia. Like, I'm clean, this, that, and the third. But I advise you to get checked when you go home. Baby, I was going to do that anyway. You ain't had to tell me that. as soon as I got down off the plane, I was going to my doctor. Like, I already knew that. And just to tell y'all, I don't have chlamydia. I never had it. I never got it. She didn't have it either. Diamond had it, but Ray and me, we did not have it. So yeah, and I might just put my test results up here because I know like some funny bitches be watching my shit, and I don't have time for the rumors or the games or the gimmicks, bitch, because it never gave that. But anyway, says she's crying and throwing up, and I'm starting to feel bad for her because I'm just like, damn, like I know how it is to be in a toxic and abusive relationship, but again, you dragged me through the mud, and you didn't have to do that. You could have left me alone. So you know, I get her a tissue because I'm tired of seeing the snot dripping the bottom of her bottom lip. I'm like, that's nasty as fuck. Like, let me get you a tissue. So I end up getting her a tissue or whatever, and you know, she's talking to me and everything and venting, and I'm just like, all right. After she's done venting, I'm like, okay, well, like, I'm still hungry, so can we go get some food? Like, let me go get some food. And Jasmine was telling me, like, basically, like, just make it the best while you're out there. Like, basically, run that girl card up, like, go bowling, like, do some fun shit that you like while you're out there to waste some time. Like, don't just sit in the house. So I'm like, all right, like, you smart, like, I'm gonna do that. So we end up going to get food, and she was like, you know, can we go for a walk? Can we go to the lake? And I like taking walks, you know, I like going to lakes and stuff. So I'm like, okay, like, we can do that. Hey guys, y'all, if y'all didn't know, this is Jasmine. This is my best friend. This is who was getting all the tea when Diamond was texting her, you know. So she ends up saying, like, let's go to the grocery store. I'm gonna cook you some food. Like, what do you want to eat? This and the third. So I'm like, okay. So I told her that I want chicken Alfredo. She's like, okay, cool. I want that too. Ends up cooking the chicken Alfredo, y'all. The noodles were good, but the chicken was so salty. Like, she just dumped the whole salt in there. Like, I literally could not eat it. I couldn't eat it. I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, that's how I'm eating it. Like, I want to spit this shit out. Like, it was terrible. But as I'm, you know, eating the noodles and everything, I get a notification for my flight. I'm like, this gotta be a joke. I'm going home Tuesday. There's no way I'm going home later than Tuesday. I had work Wednesday. Like, what do you mean my flight is delayed? Like, what are you saying right now? So I'm trying to call the people. They not answering. They put me on hold for 2 hours. I'm telling Ray, I'm like, my flight's getting delayed. Like, my flight's delayed. Like, help. Something needs to give. So she's like, I'm sure, like, she's not really paying on my, she's like, I'm sure they'll call you back. Like, don't trip about it. Don't trip. Girl, I don't want to be here. Girl, I want to go home. I don't want to be with you any longer. Like, what do you mean chill? Like, I'm not about to chill. So she's like, you know, like, it'll be good. Like, they're going to call you back this, that, and third. So I had called them around, like, 8. And they gave me a call back at 11. They give me a call back. She's like, yeah, like, you don't have to switch your flight. Like, it's not. And I have her on speaker. Mind you, I have her on speaker. She's like, yeah, it's not mandatory to change your flight. Like, everything should be good. Like, you're still set for Tuesday at 11:11. I believe that's what time it was. So I'm like, okay, cool. Great, awesome. Like, I almost had a heart attack. We eat our food, and I get off the phone with the airplane people. She's like, oh, you know, do you want to drink this, that, and the third? And I'm like, no. And in my head, I'm like, I definitely don't want to drink with you because the last time I did, you tricked me into having sex with you. No, I don't want to drink. No, I don't. So I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, you can drink. She's like, can we just, like, drink, like, a little bit? Like, you know, like, I don't want the vibe to be off anymore. Like, I'm really sorry. She was apologizing. She said her whole little sob story and shit. I don't feel like repeating it because it really didn't mean shit, and it was a whole bunch of bullshit. So I'm like, all right. So, two could play that game. She wanted to trick me and get me drunk. I'm finna do the same thing to you. Payback's a bitch. So, the cups and the alcohol was in the refrigerator. So, I got the cups or whatever. So, I poured nothing but juice in my, like, I poured, like this much alcohol just so that my cup can smell like alcohol. And I dumped the clip of alcohol in her fucking cup. Like, I dumped it and put a little bit of juice. So, I ended up giving her her cup or whatever. And she's like, okay, like, let's play truth or drink. And, you know, like, if we end up getting drunk, we end up getting drunk. So I'm like, okay, cool. So she's asking me a whole bunch of questions. I'm drinking. I'm drinking that Hawaiian punch like it's nothing. Like, it's juice for real. But I'm making my little faces like to make it seem like it's alcohol in it. She's chugging her shit down. So, you know, like I said before, she's very high tolerance when it comes to alcohol. So I'm not thinking she's drunk. Y'all, this girl falls off the bed. She falls, like, she was sitting on the edge of the bed and I was sitting on the bed. She completely falls off the bed. So I started laughing because I'm like, damn, like, she felt hard as hell. And she was on the floor for about 2 minutes. So I'm like, okay, let me make sure the bitch not dead. So I go around the corner. I'm like, are you good? And this girl tries to have sex with me again. I'm like, oh, no, baby. We not doing that. Now, I was laughing and trying to play around because she had 2 guns in the house. You're not about to shoot me. I'm not trying to be like, oh, bitch, get the fuck off me. Like, no, because, again, she has control of my flight. I have to stay here for another 2 days, and you're crazy. So, no. So, I'm like, yeah, girl, no, like, we're not doing that. Like, we're off them type of terms. Like, it's not giving that at all. So, she's like, okay, like, I'm done. Like, you know, like, I'll leave you alone. I'm sorry. She ends up pouring her heart out. Like, I really just want to let you know, like, I'm sincerely sorry. And me and Diamond, like, we really just in a trauma bond right now. Like, I really don't even like her, but, like, that's just the person I go to when shit is going bad. It's that and the third. So I'm like, okay, like, I already heard this story before. But then she starts getting deeper and telling me that she killed 2 people. Telling me, she's like, yeah, like, my cousin had died, and, you know, when it comes to the drug dealing business, these niggas was trying to get off on my cousin. So she had called me to the club, and I had to shoot 2 people. I had to shoot the niggas that was coming after him. Now, you would have thought that she was lying because she's a pathological liar, but no, because Diamond also told Jasmine that she's a murderer and that she be killing people, and that Ray be putting her hands on Diamond. So, well, they be putting their hands on each other. They be fighting, basically. So, I'm like, there's no way this girl is looking me in my eyes and telling me that she shot and killed 2 people. I'm in a house with a murderer, a liar, a dirty bitch. Get me out of here now. Just like trying to play it cool and trying not to make it seem like I'm very disturbed and bothered by that, but I am. So I'm like, you know, you couldn't just do nothing else. Like, she's like, no, like, the drug dealing business, like, it's really giving power. That's what she's telling me. Like, she's telling me it's really giving power, but Ghost Part 2, like, that's just what they do. That they get down to get down. She and a whole gang and some more shit. And I'm like, I should have knew. When she told me she lived in Chicago, Chirac, I should have just picked up the vibe from then, but I didn't. I like to see stuff out for myself, and that's my problem. I'm just like, this girl is really sick in the head. Like, never again. When I touch down in the DMV, she's getting blocked. She's getting blocked. Tuesday comes around, and it's time for me to go home. I'm packing my bag, and I happen to look at my flight, and instead of it saying Tuesday at 11:11, it switches to Thursday. I'm instantly like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on here? Like, there's no way that my flight is changed from Tuesday to Thursday when I just got off the phone with the lady 2 days ago, and she told me that I was still good for Tuesday and everything was fine. Jasmine thinks that she changed my flight because, like I told y'all, she has control of my flight and everything like that. So Jasmine thinks that she switched my flight from Tuesday to Thursday as if I wouldn't notice. I'm guessing because they both started with a T. But girl, I know what day I was getting home, what time I was getting home. Like, I already knew that. So I wake her up and I'm like, Ray, wake up, Ray, wake up. Mind you, she's hung over from the night before because she drank a lot. So she's like, has a headache. She's not really understanding what I'm saying. I'm like, get up. Like, my flight is changed. Like, why is my flight changing? This, that, and third. She's like, what? Like, call them back, call them again. And it's like 7 o'clock. My flight left. My flight was supposed to leave at 11:11. I'm calling them. It's another 2-hour wait. I'm like, oh my gosh. They didn't end up calling back until 10. And she's like, yeah, it's too late now. The flight was changed. This, that, and the third. I figure, I'm like, did somebody change my flight or did y'all change it? She's like, yeah, we changed it because of the weather. And I'm like, but the lady just told me that I could go home Tuesday. So why do I have to stay another 2 days here? Get me out of this state. I want to go home. Like, no. So Ray's looking at me. She's like, well, you know, like, you just gonna be in the crib by yourself for a minute because I gotta go drop off some blueberry kush and some more shit. Like, I gotta do my little scamming activities and everything. At this point, I'm just in a mindset where I'm like, I'm losing my mind. Like, I'm slowly losing my mind. I still haven't eaten. I'm still crying. Like, I'm just over it. Ended up having to stay an extra 2 days. Again, didn't do nothing. Was pitiful. Just ready to go home. So I finally, it's Thursday. It's time for me to go home. She gives me this long ass talk on the way to the airport. She's like, you know, I'm sorry. And like I said, like, get checked. And I'm sorry that this happened. Like, I really hope we can be friends after this, that, and the third. No, we're not going to be friends. No. We're not going to be friends. We're not going to be acquaintances. We're not going to be associates. None of that, girl. Fuck you. No. So I end up getting on a flight or whatever, getting on a plane, touching back to Maryland, calling my doctor or whatever, making sure everything was good. I had ended up getting tested 3 times to make sure everything was good and everything was straight and handy dandy. Some more like little stuff happened a little bit after that, but that's kind of irrelevant. But yeah, that was a long story time, a traumatic story time. Don't date nobody in Chicago because 9 times out of 10 they have a disease. I'm sorry, you guys are some dirty ass bitches. I hope y'all like this story time. I'm glad y'all tuned in. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I keep seeing some returning viewers and you're not subscribed. Why? Y'all supposed to be gang. Right now, y'all strangers. Y'all not gang. DTB, man. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye, y'all.